雷一伟、18号特阿穆尔吉日嘎拉，23号里沙哈山，22号刘海涛，18号方元佑，17号格冈奥日很，24号楚炳杰，21号谢建豪，20号保罗克拉克，19号拉德利格尔达莱，20号现在抽胜部选手的签位，恩铁木真。28号杨少杰。26号郝天。25号唐春晓。31号孔德京。28号赵汝亮。27号刘正杰。29号赵建波。31号孙源。30号徐天伟。27号郑肖怀。29号阿里珀戴尔。32号张坤鹏。32号张太义。25号加雷斯波茨。 30号陈双友。26号，第3阶段双外第2轮抽签仪式到此结束，稍后公布运动员比赛场地。
感谢裁判团队主持抽签仪式，稍后裁判将会公布比赛场地，在公布之后会有一个统一大入场，请各位跟随各自裁判，稍后到候场区进行候场，谢谢。
her to hook up in detail in public with her friends. I think a mature feminine woman can keep that to herself and know when to. Alright, first of all, learn how to say no. This cannot count alone. Men and women, when they exhibit femininity, show that gentle tenderness and love.
现在公布一下运动员比赛场地：1号台陈哲、特阿穆尔吉日嘎拉；3号台沈申义、楚炳杰；5号台徐天伟、赵汝亮；7号台郝天、张太义；9号台特拉布哈苏人方元佑；11号台安德鲁佩吉特、里沙哈山 13号台刘正杰、郑肖怀，15号台刘海涛、雷毅伟，17号台赵建波、唐春晓，19号台陈双友、杨少杰，21号台孙源、加雷斯波茨，23号台冈奥日很、迈克尔希尔，25号台理查德哈里德、保罗克拉克，27号台拉德利格尔达莱、谢建豪。TV2号台阿里珀戴尔、张坤鹏 ，TV1号台恩铁木真、孔德京。1号台陈哲、特阿穆尔吉日嘎拉，3号台沈申义、楚炳杰，5号台徐天伟、赵汝亮，7号台郝天、张太义。9号台特拉布哈苏人方元佑，11号台安德鲁佩吉特里沙哈山，13号台刘正杰郑肖怀，15号台刘海涛雷毅伟，17号台赵建波唐春晓，19号台陈双友杨少杰，21号台孙源加雷斯波茨，23号台冈奥日很迈克尔希尔，25号台理查德哈里德保罗克拉克，27号台拉德利格尔达莱谢建豪 ，TV2号台阿里珀戴尔张坤鹏 ，TV1号台恩铁木真孔德京。请以上运动员抓紧时间进入比赛场地检录。
在稍后会有统一的出场仪式，请各位运动员及裁判员注意，感谢合作。本届赛事诚挚感谢深度合作伙伴 Joy 乔氏中式台球球桌、比利时雅乐美台球、LP 球杆、野豹台球杆、奥秘台球杆、毒蜘蛛球杆、天耀球杆、Fury 威力球杆、李斯球杆、奥斯本兹球杆、林肯球杆、塔里克球杆、利百文8848台泥、H153台泥、小麦皮头、超级蓝钻皮头、TP 巧克粉、库洛克巧克粉、幸运1号巧克粉、胜利者沙发、天一沙发、正红胶边、罂粟胶边、老鹰胶边、欧尚地毯、星星暴走、维厨酒庄。感谢官方赛事系统服务商北京乔氏以利科技有限公司，指定官方配件商城卓越台球商城等单位和品牌对赛事的大力支持。要特别鸣谢人民网、新华网、新浪体育、今日头条等20余家综合媒体平台，感谢抖音、快手、优酷、火山等视频平台、微博、微信等综合媒介及生活平台等互联网新媒体的大力支持。赛事详细信息推荐查阅微信订阅号“台球圈有料”。
漫漫远水，微微雪峰，凤气高妙，文耀中华。民族风情，美美与共。这里是福地怀化，一个怀景、怀乡、怀味的地方。你看见了什么？是雪凤巍峨，中国著名的地理界山挥毫写意，绘就苍翠如盖；是远水汤汤，奔腾的母亲河，浮光跃金，共舞水天一色。间波浩渺，瀑流泉声，飞山小雾，西晃晴云。丝蒙烟雨，万佛丹霞，40景致交替变换。来怀化吧，共览山雄水秀的神奇画卷。 听见了什么？是屈子行吟，叩问苍穹；是天籁长歌，回荡人间。山高水长里，深藏着古城、古镇、古村的清越和鸣。马蹄声声，穿越千年丝路；算盘轻摇，演绎商贾传奇。二友藏书，明月对诗，阳明讲学，书声、钟声、心声，生生不息。你听，中央红军的万万火急电令，通道转兵，转出中国革命的新天地。你听，中华民族浴火重生的呐喊，只将受降，见证抗日战争的伟大胜利。你听，广袤大地，农民朋友的笑声飞扬。袁隆平院士在这里演绎一粒种子改变世界的现代传奇。无数轻快的、厚重的、奔放的、热血的声音，在历史的烟云里汇成同一乐章。来怀化吧，共领家国情怀的人文交响。你品到了什么？是纸浆鸭的酥脆细嫩，絮土鹅的鲜香松软，腊肉腌鱼的酸爽醇和，还有橙柚杨梅的清甘。晶莹果片将青涩酿成蜜糖，动情巧花把岁月编成诗行，龙腾挪韵，与万物拥抱悲喜。百味纷呈里，是人间烟火，亦是漫漫乡愁。来怀化吧，共醉摇曳多姿的民俗风情。你感受到了什么？是速度，高铁飞驰联动世界脉搏；产业发展催生万象更新。是高度，创新发展厚植五溪沃土；城市向上，引领开放包容。是广度，国际陆港连通山川大海，港产城旅再次扬帆远航。是温度，田野诗班唱响诗与远方，懂你之诚与你真诚奔赴。山与水的相遇，古与今的对话，心与心的交融。来怀化吧，共赴星辰大海。当眼睛收藏了星河与丹霞，当耳朵记住了号字与歌谣，当舌尖封存了酸辣与甘甜，当心头萦绕着茶韵与稻香，你会忽然懂得，怀化不是远方，而是新的原乡。
我是易烊千玺，欢迎五湖四海的朋友们走进我的家乡怀化。
Don't be afraid, remember the dreams. Here you go, time to rise. Find your space, be proud of yourself. Take the spotlight. Unless you try, you will never find the strength that is inside. Unless you fly, you will for the stars in the night. So embrace the joy that brightens light with all your desire, your passion, your fight. Every move you make, a dance of grace. You're the master, you're the queen. Just embrace the joy that brightens light with victory's own. Your heart, your mind. Every shot you take, a dream that claims. Nothing is gonna hold you back. You will shine. Hey, don't be afraid. Remember the dreams. Here you go. Time to rise. Find your space. Be proud of yourself. Take the spotlight. Unless you try, you will never find the strength that is inside. Unless you fly, you will never reach for the stars in the night. So embrace the joy that brightens light with all your desire, your passion, your fight. Every move you make, a dance of grace. You're the master, you're the queen. Just embrace the joy that brightens light with victory's own. Your heart, your mind. Every shot you take, a dream that claims. Nothing is gonna hold you back. You will shine. So embrace the joy that brightens light with all your desire, your passion, your fight. Every move you make, a dance of grace. You're the master, you're the queen. Just embrace the joy that brightens light with victory's own. Your heart, your mind. Every shot you take, a dream that claims. Nothing is gonna hold you back. You will shine. You will shine. You will shine.
中式棒球国际大师赛。这里是第4届怀化市旅发大会暨 LP 球杆乔氏杯2025中式发球大师赛超级分站赛芷江站比赛现场。这里是第3阶段双败第2轮，现在让我们欢迎运动员以及裁判员。And now let's welcome athletes and referees. 裁 Table One 1号台由来自中国陈哲对阵来自蒙古特阿木尔吉日嘎拉，裁判宋明明。Table Three 3号台由来自中国沈申义对阵来自中国楚秉杰，裁判佘振振。Table Five 5号台由来自中国徐天伟对阵来自中国赵汝亮，裁判李亚萌。Table Seven 7号台由来自中国郝天对阵来自中国张坦毅，裁判陆月。Table Nine 9号台由来自蒙古特拉布哈苏人对阵来自马来西亚方元佑，裁判杨文基。Table 11 11号台由来自英国安德鲁佩吉特对阵来自马来西亚丽莎哈山，裁判杨嘉玲。Table 13 13号台由来自中国台北刘正杰对阵来自中国郑肖怀，裁判王鹏轩。Table 50 15号台由来自中国刘海涛对阵来自中国雷毅伟，裁判张毅。Table 70 17号台由来自中国赵建波对阵来自中国唐春晓，裁判徐景言。Table 90 19号台由来自中国陈双友对阵来自缅甸杨少杰，裁判冯雅琪。Table 21 21号台由来自中国孙源对阵来自英国加雷斯波茨，裁判张月秋。Table 23 23号台由来自蒙古格冈奥日恒对阵来自英国迈克尔希尔，裁判玉林。Table 25 25号台由来自南非理查德哈里德对阵来自澳大利亚保罗克拉克，裁判杨俊奇。 Table 27 27号台由来自蒙古拉德里格尔达莱对阵来自马来西亚谢建豪，裁判马嘉熙。And now is Table TV2， 此刻登场 TV 2号台由来自伊朗阿里坡戴尔对阵来自中国张坤鹏，裁判吕阳。And finally is Table TV1， 最后登场是 TV 1号和平芷江台。本场比赛将由来自蒙古喷铁木真对阵来自中国孔德金。本场比赛主裁判耿思林，助理裁判匡俊涛、张路遥。请移步比赛神器，乔氏金腿球桌。中巴转动世界球童。此刻，我们正在芷江为各位直播精彩比赛。风雨兼程，对决即将开始。
铁木真你好，孔德金你好，请双方选手争夺开球选择权。听我口令，预备，3、2、1，开始。孔德金获得开球选择权。
Good day, everyone, and welcome back to Day 5, Stage 3 of the 2025 Joy Heyball Masters Super Tour, Zhijiang Station here in China. So last 32 players left in this tournament for the Super Tour. And on the TV table, Heyball Temujin from Mongolia against Kong Dejing from China. This is a double elimination stage of the tournament, race to 13. I'm your commentator for the Joy Heyball events, Raymond Tilak, and I'll be bringing you all of the live action throughout this tournament until the final on the 27th of September at 4 p.m. local time. So both these players have won their first match in stage 3 earlier today, so this is still the winner's side.
比赛开始，第一局，孔德金开球。
Race to 13, winners break. So if you were on the stream just before this match started, you would have seen that there is a redraw before each round in stage 3. So you have absolutely no idea of who you are playing until about 10 minutes before the session starts. So the players that did win their match this morning, they're in the winner's bracket, losers in the loser's bracket, redraw on both sides. And we have both sides of the bracket currently playing in this 5 p.m. local time session. So at the table, Kong Dejing, and we've had him on the TV table many times now, consistent top 16 finisher in the Joy events. Finished second twice in 2 Super Tours and winner of the Lishan Super Station. His opponent from Mongolia, Fury-sponsored player Heyball Temujin, one of the best players out of Mongolia at the moment. a consistent top 32 finisher in all of the superstations. And when I say consistent, if I look back through quite a few events, even a year or two, and we do have 4 of these station events a year, see Heyball Temujin featuring in the top 32 of every single event of those. And what that does tell me, because in a tournament like this, internationals play separately until the last 32, where the top 16 international players are mixed with the top 16 Chinese players in an open draw. So a consistent top 32 finish means that you are one of the finest international players. And for those of you who have been watching the Heyball circuit for the past few years, you'd know that Temujin is definitely one of the top international players at the moment. But he definitely will have his hands full against the likes of Kong, Zhijiang. And I have to tell you, it's no secret why the Chinese players are so good. And being at the tournament really shows you that. Because if you go to the practice room, before the match they're in the practice room, after their match they're in the practice room, they're off to the hotel to have something to eat, and 11 o'clock at night, back in the practice room. So the tournament doesn't interfere with their practice routine. If their practice routine is to put 6 hours a day in, those 6 hours remain. So, when you do watch the work ethic of these players, and if you are in the practice room, you'll see which players are there, and it's usually the top 8, top 16 Chinese players in the world. They take a table for themselves and just knocking balls in, going through their practice routines. No, it's not there. He couldn't get around the 7. Mistake from Kong Zhijiang, and just 5 solids left on the table. Black ball does pot into the center. It's a tough one, but it does go. Yeah, he just had to arc a bit around the 7. So this is a very good chance for Temujin to get his first point on the board. This is a race to 13 winner break format. This tournament is being played on the Joy Q8 steel block cushion table, and that's clothed with the Lieberwin 8848 premium Heyball cloth, currently best cloth in the world to play this game on, and that's why it is being used in international tournaments. Ball set being used at the moment, Aramuth Pro Cup TV set. Same size balls as American pool. 9 foot 3/4 snooker table. For those of you that like to know the dimensions of this table in this game, and that is not a good shot from Temujin. I did feel like the black ball could go into the center pocket, and even if not, it was easier to take down to the corner instead of that. Made this a lot harder for himself, but still at the table, still with a chance. Oh, how has that cue ball stayed on? And I think he's on it. I think he just might be past the jaw. He might just be perfect on this. And if you are going to be playing this black ball down the rail, there we are, right behind the cue ball, and it's so tight, he might have to play a touch of helping side. And it's just drifted off. Yeah, I think it was that center pocket jaw. And with a situation like that, your eyes can so easily deceive you when you're looking to see if you can actually get through to the ball. And mistake from Temujin, mistake from Kong Dejing, but Kong Dejing first on the scoreboard, 1-0 up in this race to 13.
第二局，孔德金开球。
So both these players currently in the winner's bracket. Kong Dejing had to get through Shen Shenyi, currently one of the top 16 Chinese players as well. 13-7 the scoreline this morning.
犯规。
And Temujin had to get through Richard Halliday from South Africa. 13-9. He was 11-5 up. Richard Halliday made quite a comeback to bring it to 12-9, but Temujin was just able to get over that winning line. So players currently in a winner's bracket guaranteed top 24 position, and players in the loser's bracket, if they do lose tonight, that's their second loss and they will be out of the tournament. So from 32 players, we will be eliminating 8 players after the session. Just 24 players left after
陈
today.
亮、岩石、
Now players get 45 seconds per shot, one extension of 30 seconds per frame. Kong Dejing potting the cue ball on the break, which means ball in hand anywhere on the table. Ball in hand behind the balk line for Temujin, and you have to play forward. For example, he couldn't play the 6 or the 10. That is in balk. He had to play forward down the table. That's a good shot to open the 4 and has a slight angle to get into the 3. If he can manage to get the 3 into a potable position off the rail, hopefully in front of the center pocket, very good chance to equalize for Heyball Temujin. Yeah, now he's forced to take the 3 on. Decided not to go into the 3 from there. I did think he had the angle for it, but feels like he can make this pot. Doesn't have to do much with the cue ball. And there we see the 3 ball just about 2 millimeters off the cushion. No, 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 no. Touch the cushion way too early. And that brings Kong Dejing to the table now. First thing he's looking at, does the black ball pass? Clearing up on the side of the table is Kong Dejing. Rest of his balls in the upper half. Yeah, I think he will have to go into the black ball. We haven't had a camera angle from behind to see exactly if it can force its way through, but I do think it's very tight up there by the 6 at the top right corner pocket. That was an attempt. That was definitely an attempt to just nudge the black ball out of that area. Angle was slightly too steep on that 9 to get back for the black ball. Yeah, interesting. He actually played that the way he did play that. He played that for the cue ball to be heading towards the 6 ball at the top right. Not able to make the pot. Didn't get the second part either. Three goes. And you have to feel that this is a great chance for Temujin to get his first point on the scoreboard and equalize this match. Kong Dejing is not a player that you want gaining momentum in a match. In fact, that goes for all the Chinese players that I've seen. You just can't let them gain momentum, especially with the winners break format where a player can stay at the table for a couple of racks. It's there. It's nicely on the 7. And that is really unfortunate. I never expected that from Temujin. Was trying really hard to get the cue ball back up table for the black ball. But under usual circumstances, I mean, from what I've seen from Temujin, he is such a composed, great player out of Mongolia.
延时
And Kong Dejing at the table, taking the 14 to the center. Two minds about this at the moment. So if you have a look at the stripes in the balk area, the remaining 2 stripes, it doesn't look like the 10 goes, so you're going to have to get perfect on the 15. And by perfect, that means there. Now, I think he still can cue nicely past the black ball, yeah. Don't expect anything less from this player. If you give him the table, if you make a mistake, Kong Dejing will punish. In this black ball for 2-0. No one visit clearances yet, but 2-0 to Kong Dejing in this race to 13 over Heyball Temujin. Chu Bingjie on table 3. He's currently in the losers bracket, losing in a decider to Zheng Kongpeng. So Shen Shenyi against Chu Bingjie, 3-0 to Shen Shenyi. Zhao Ruliang against Zhu Jianwei, 2-1 up, Zhao Ruliang. Andrew Paget against Reza Hassan. That is also a losers bracket match, so we will lose one of those international players after this match. We have Zhao Jianbo, winner of the Division 1 tour just a few days ago against Tang Shunshao. He is 2-1 up currently. Gareth Potts from the UK against Sun Yuan, score 1-1. And Richard Halliday from South Africa against Paul Clack from Australia. That is also a losers bracket match. Richard Halliday lost in the winners bracket this morning against Temujin. So we will be losing another international player in that match between Richard Halliday and Paul Clack.
10秒，延时。
And we just concluded the Champion of Champions event in Brisbane, Australia yesterday. That broadcast done by Joy WPA and WPA Live TV. Winner of that event, Clint Ianson from UK in the men's division, and Shi Tianxi from China in the ladies division. Equal prize money, $400,000 total prize fund for that event. Yeah, you would have definitely caught those live broadcasts on our live platforms. Commentary of that entire event was done by Lenyukta Chetty from South Africa. And yeah, the players also had a really good time in Australia. They're currently on their way to Sydney for the Oceania Open, which starts on the 24th of September. So there's a lot of action at the moment, Heyball internationally. So that tournament, the Oceania Open, which is 4 WPA ranking points. And that starts on the 24th until the 27th of September. We will have that tournament live on all of our live channels, as well as WPA Live TV as well. And what I like about Kong Dejing is he does take his time as well. I mean, he can I've seen him pot from absolutely anywhere on the table. He's one of the finest players, but takes his time on every shot, has the same pre-shot routine. If he needs to, takes a walk around to check the angle. This is all about pace, a little bounce. And that's almost perfect. I mean, if you wanted to play the 13 down to the bottom left and you had ball in hand, that's almost exactly where you're placing that cue ball. Very well played. Excellent clearance from Kong Zhijiang. This black ball for 3-0 up. And first break and run. And it's there.
第3局，孔德金胜，比分3-0，开球请看。谢谢。
翘课我选布洛克。
Kong Zhijiang 3-0 up in this race to 13 winner break format. And so far he's won the leg and he's been breaking in every frame thus far.
第4局，孔德金开球。
The only time we are going to see Temujin at the table to break is if he can win a frame. And at the moment, Kong Zhijiang in dangerous form. Break and run in the previous rack to go 3-0 up. That looks dry. Yeah, he's really throwing everything at that break at the moment. And I think he might try it a few more times. If not successful, he will change it to a slightly more controlled, take a bit of pace off, a little bit of pop as well, and just a little bit more controlled on the cue ball, and see if he can get the split to be slightly different, especially with the two balls heading towards the center pocket. So Temujin now at the table, open table. Now from here it does look like the 4 ball could go to the top right corner pocket. If he could get a decent angle on the 1, he could use the 1 to open up the 3, which is on the top left of the table. He's definitely played on the 4 to the top right. This clearance for Temujin is all about the 3 ball. Yeah, this is what we were saying. Angle on the 1. Yeah, there's the 4 just going in off the outside jaw. Did hit the 4 very well though, and that's why it did drop. Yeah, I think he has too much on the 1 actually to get into the 3 from there, so it's the 5, a little nudge. Great shot from Temujin to open the 3. which now goes to the top left corner pocket. Now he has slightly overrun the 7 to the center, but he should be good. So far, so good for Temujin in this fourth frame. Yeah, nicely controlled. And this is much better from Temujin at the moment. You can find the links to the draw, live scores, and the flowchart on our World Heyball Tour Facebook page. That's Joy World Heyball Tour, WHT. Can have a look on the, I believe it's the third post down or fourth post down on that Facebook page, and you will see the links to the live scores and the draw and the flowchart as well. There's actually a lot on that Facebook page. You'll find videos of the event, pictures from every day and from the different stages throughout. Nice rack and run clearance from Heyball Temujin to take his first point. Score currently 3-1 in favor of Kong Dejing. So far, 4 frames played. 1 break and run from Kong Dejing, 1 rack and run from Heyball Temujin.
第5局，恩铁木真开球。
And we did say Temujin needs to win a frame so he can be on the table to break. Let's have a look at how he's breaking in this match. That's the controlled break that we talk about. Just not making those balls in the center. The 3 almost going into the top right corner. Yeah, the 4 and the 9 took a very strange angle off that initial impact. 5th frame now underway and Kong Dejing to the table. He's currently 3-1 up in this race to 13 winner break format. This is the last 32 currently.
10秒，延时。
Stripes in play for Kong Dejing. Yeah, he played that in such a way that he was also going to be on the 15 if the 9 rolls as far as it did, which did happen. With those tricky combinations to the center, you have to be careful about where the second ball is going. It can very easily land up on the side cushion, decides to take the 10 to the bottom. Yeah, that's a great shot. He was off angle on the 15 to the center pocket, had to go in and out of balk, and look at the control on the cue ball. So Ali Pordell also in the winner's bracket. Ali Pordell from Iran. He's currently 3-1 down against Zhang Kungpeng. And that is on TV table 2. Now we do have other tables available on WPAlive.tv. They are being streamed there currently. Ali Pordell did win his first match. That was earlier this morning.
第5局，孔德金胜，比分4-1。
And Kong Dejing takes his 4th point, leading 4 frames to 1 with a rack and run for himself. Just trying to find Ali Pordell played Gan Orkon from Mongolia this morning, and I did speak to him after the match. He felt like he played really well, and yeah, he's planning to go quite deep in this tournament. Ali Pordell as well, consistently stage 3, last 32 of these events. And when you play so many of these international events, you just get your big match temperament, your BMT, you just get stronger and stronger every time, every tournament. And then you get so used to finishing in the top 32 that it's just a matter of time before you go last 16, last 8, last 4. Yeah, once again, through absolutely everything at that break. Have a look at this. But once again, it's dry, and that gives Temujin an opportunity once again to get another point on the scoreboard. However, not the easiest of table to come to.
10秒，延时。
Decides to take his extension. Players get 1 extension of 30 seconds per frame. So from now on out, he has to hurry it up a bit. 45 seconds per shot. I can tell you, it's not as long as you think. After 35 seconds, the referee is already calling 10 seconds left, as you heard her say. And then counting down from 5.
10秒。
Yeah, quite like that shot. 7 off the stripe and also getting the cue ball. And almost trying to put the 12-2 combination at the top of the table. Now he has opened up the 12. The red 3 and 11 at the top left still pose an issue for Kong Dejing, well, for both players.
10秒，延时。
10 Yeah, that's full attack mode for Kong Dejing, and I'll tell you at that distance what a shot that is to play the 9 off the 7. Ball off a ball, perfect contact to get it into the bottom right corner pocket. That may look like an easy shot, but the accuracy required in a shot like that is to hit the 7 that perfectly. And that's another one. So far, shot of the match from Kong Dejing. And just like that, solved 2 problems on the table. Now, to look at our next problem that we have for Kong Dejing, it looks like black ball currently doesn't go to the bottom left corner pocket, but he has a connector stripe right next to it. So by now, being on the live stream as much as I know you guys are, well, at least on the Chinese tournaments, you'd hear that the referee speaks in Chinese. So we already know that when she says 10 miao, that means 10 seconds. Extension is 延时. And of course, then counting down from 5, which I'm not skilled enough to repeat that yet. And now you can see everything open for Kong Dejing, just 2 stripes left. Now the 15 doesn't look like it passes the 2 into the top right corner pocket. Yeah, using the 2 ball to try and hold the cue ball, but he's left a tough 15 to the top left. It's not there, overcut the 15. And look at the table now, 6 solids left, all open for Heyball Temujin. What a chance for him to get his second point on the board. And there we see, yeah, he did throw a lot of helping side onto the cue ball, and that could have just thrown the 15 a little bit thin, especially on this brand new Lieberwind cloth. All the tables reclothed after the Division 1 tour, so I believe it was 2 or 3 days ago, tables were reclothed. Yeah, no doubt in my mind that Temujin should get his second point on the board. And I think if he can keep taking these opportunities. Oh, he's slightly in no man's land. He's not perfect on the 4, not perfect on the 7. Yeah, but if he can take these opportunities well, the way he has been doing, and break in well, I think we will see a good fight on our hands. Very nicely done from Temujin to take his second point of this match. Score 4-2 in favor of Kong Dejing in this
河北
race
省
to
天翼集
13.
团创立于2013年，注册资金500万，员工230余名，有着10余年的生产经验，集研发设计、生产销售于一体的大型生产企业。优秀的员工、先进的技术、精良的设备，严格的管理使公司得以不断的发展壮大。精确、可靠、专业是我们生产的精神和服务信念。
天一沙发让舒适无处不在。
And currently on TV table 2, Zheng Kongpeng 4-2 up against Ali Pordell. That is a winner's bracket match. Chu Bingjie is down 5-1 against Shen Shenyi, and that is a loser's bracket match. So if Shen Shenyi defeats Chu Bingjie, he is out of the Zhijiang Super Tour 2025. And Temujin has thrown absolutely everything at that break, and it's worked out. Look at the amount of power. He's also tried something different. And I like that he saw that his first break didn't work well. So he's tried something else and it's worked. And this is what he has to do. This is how he has to keep his opponent in his seat. Andrew Paget and Reza Hassan currently deadlocked at 3-all. That is a loser's bracket match as well. We have Zhao Jianbo, winner of the Division 1 tour a few days ago, 5-3 up against Tang Shunshao. Gareth Potts, 4-2 up against Sun Yuan. And Paul Clack from Australia is currently 4-2 up against Richard Halliday from South Africa. Yeah, this is exactly what Temujin needs now. Capitalizing off that mistake in the previous frame. So he's kept his opponent in the chair. And now with this, what looks like it should be a break and run from Temujin. That's another frame he's kept his opponent in the chair. And if he continues with this until the 8th frame player break, we should be going into the player break at 4-all. And this black ball for Temujin's third point and first break and run of the match for him. And it's there.
第8局 N team 真开球。
So using the break that worked for him, let's see if he can get it right again. This is the 8th frame now underway. And the 13 just stopping short of the top left corner pocket. Yeah, there's the 13 heading towards it and just catching the jaw. So open table, Kong Zhijiang back to the table. Now this is the difference between 5-3 at the break or 4-all. It's interesting, he's not on the 2 balls at the center pocket, so forced to take the 11. It does look like both of them do go. He's played on the 10. Needs us to roll a little bit more. I think he might just be a touch short on the 10 to the bottom right corner pocket. He's having a look. I don't think it goes. No, it doesn't. Has to reroute. Back to the center of the table, to the 2 stripes heading towards the right center pocket. He's had a look to see whether the 10 ball does pass. There we see those 2 pass clearly. So if the 10 doesn't pass, that's exactly where he needs a cue ball now. Playing on 1 ball only, no room for error. He's screwing into the angle. No, I don't think so. No, definitely not. Definitely not. And that is a serious miscalculation from Kong Zhijiang. That's jump cue in hand, but distance between the 2 object balls is so tight. You literally is hopping onto the 10. He's going to be coming straight in onto the 10 ball.
4 犯规。
No. Well, the 10's in, but foul committed. Now, Enekbal Temujin from Mongolia to the table. 7 solids left. Has the numerical advantage, which we talk about so often, having more balls on the table. You might think the 5 and the 7 are not too good. But even that shot, have a look. If he did miss the 7, he was covered. Has so much room for error if he feels that it's not a finish that he wants to go for. I didn't think that he had the angle to get into the 5 from there. It looked very straight. So this is a good example of what I was talking about. He still has the numerical advantage, 5 playing 1. He's lost position, but look at what he can do. And this is all because he didn't take the 6 ball away. Cue ball onto the ball cushion, well, as close as you can get. So as soon as a finish is taken on and then missed, that's when numerical advantage comes into play. Or your opponent can just do that. Oh my word. I don't believe that. 5-3 to Kong Dejing at the break, and we have to see a replay of that. So that's what Kong Dejing thinks about numerical advantage. Unbelievable. So at the 8-frame break, score 5-3 in favor of Kong Dejing. I'm Raymond Tilak. We'll be back in
乔氏
about
金
5
腿
minutes.
比赛专用，提醒您，精彩比赛马上开始。一线赛事指定台迷丁俊晖、奥沙利文、郑宇博、楚秉杰等不例外一线球星代言。利百文，中国台迷领导品牌。方寸间雕刻，毫厘间镶嵌。成木质之美，雕琢洞天，遇腾龙之势，巧思匠心，以点线面，以小信大，无蜘蛛匠心之作。河北省天一集团创立于2013年，注册资金500万，员工230余名，有着10余年的生产经验及研发设计、生产销售于一体的大型生产企业。优秀的员工、先进的技术、精良的设备，严格的管理使公司得以不断的发展壮大。精确、可靠、专业是我们生产的精神和服务信念。
天一沙发让舒适无处不在。
园有枳兮，篱有兰，这里生态优美，山清水秀，五水河畔，光影四射，它是那么的灵动和风雅。芷江是侗族人民自治县，是一座被少数民族侗乡文化所萦绕的魅力之城。湖南省100名最美扶贫人物韦楚酒庄董事长吴如女士，在2001年激情焕发，投资农业，扎根芷江。经过多年耕耘，刺葡萄种植基地连绵有5万多亩。她带领当地村民把优质的刺葡萄打造成了集种植、生产、加工、观光于一体的农旅典范。助力富民产业与全域旅游、生态建设、乡村振兴深度融合。行走在酒庄，可见东南亚风格的酒吧，配套齐全的露营基地，风格迥异的美食餐厅，小资情调的清经民宿，典雅精致的侗族演艺大厅1000个春天，更有气势恢宏的侗家鼓楼巨福楼。楼高30多米，巨福楼广场可同时容纳1万名游客。荷花满园的田园，一花一世界，一步一风景，宛若世外桃源。韦楚酒庄非物质文化收藏馆陈列了侗家织布机等非物质文化物件。漫步在幽静和散发着清香的刺葡萄园中，畅享丰收的喜悦，让你心旷神怡。走进酒庄地下酒窖，扑面而来的葡萄酒香味儿，让你仿佛沐浴在温情浪漫的红酒文化之中。韦楚酒庄的建设始终以世界的眼光、国际的标准，以宾客为尊的理念，高标准、高质量建成了中国最美侗乡酒庄。同时酿造出了品质一流的红酒。 近2年来，酒庄开展了采摘节、小丑节、亚伦蒂尼飞虎 P40潮流音乐节，以及怀化味道第7届高山刺葡萄节等丰富多彩的主题活动。期间，人声鼎沸，好评如潮。微楚酒庄还倾力打造了大型文旅实景演绎《动情芷江》，以浓郁的动香文化大餐惊艳呈现。微楚酒庄的美食自成体系，有精、美、情、礼的特色，科学布局业态，全力做好文旅加电商加乡村振兴，着力打造网红打卡之地，形成了3农服务的文旅 IP。感受侗族风情，品尝红酒和美食，沉浸于载歌载舞之中，尽情享受红酒与艺术碰撞的文化盛宴，享受诗酒远方的美好愿景。微楚有酒，于斯为醉。中国最美动香酒庄，欢迎您！
我是代言人郑伟国，星星暴走，年轻自由。
我是代言人雨龙海，星星暴走，年轻自由。
我是代言人楚炳杰，星星暴走，年轻自由。
Born in Louisiana. My mama told my papa, our little boy has got the blues. You better watch what you do to me. Watch what you do to me. That's been no question.
冠军500万球市大师赛官方供应商，正红胶边均匀回弹，铸就一流打感，持续助力中式台球职业化联赛，制造好球桌，胶边选正红。
俺老孙啥功名不要。只求回到这花果山中了，过过逍遥日子。
天耀球杆，化一切为可能。乔氏金腿比赛专用，提醒您，精彩比赛马上开始。
And the players are back after their break. Score is 5-3 in favor of Kong De-Jing, who is at the table now to break. So in that last frame, Enekbol Temujin leaving the black ball behind the 6, snookering Kong De-Jing, and one rail escape. No matter about the numerical advantage, Kong De-Jing was able to get that 8th frame and 5th point on the board. And at the moment, the breaks are not working for both these players. Temujin to the table, open table currently. Secures stripes. Now the 11 doesn't go to the center, doesn't go to the bottom. right corner pocket, however, does go to the top right. And to the center now as well. And just with that one nice little nudge on the 5, very controlled. Have a look at this cue ball. Stun over for the 9 into the same pocket. Has the angle to get the cue ball back up to the table. Yeah, so it does look like Temujin is taking his chance as well. I'd say he got very unlucky in the previous frame. That was definitely a frame that he shouldn't have lost. He did get unlucky on position, well, and then afterwards played the right shot, played the safety with the snooker as well. The white ball is heading towards the 6 and the 7. There we go. I think he's okay. I think he's played that just hard enough to nudge the 6 out of the way. No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. From this angle, at least from that camera, it does not look like it goes. Jump cue in hand. Yeah, it takes off the mini butt of the jump cue. That's to get more elevation because you need the cue ball up in the air very quickly. 6 is very close.
10秒。延时。
Yeah, has to take the extension. Referee calls 10 seconds. So it's not the kind of shot you want to be rushing, especially 5-3 down. You miss this, you're in trouble. Oh, what a shot that is. Shouldn't have needed it, but brilliant shot from Heyball Temujin to take his 4th point. And that was a clearance of Kong Dejing's dry break. So the dry break's been costing Kong so far 2 rack and runs for Temujin. And Temujin will be breaking now. He's currently trailing 5 frames to 4. So just 1 frame in it at the moment.
First 局，安铁木真开球。
He's potted a ball. Cue ball stays on the table as well. Just. Cue ball must have gotten a kick. Yes, kick by the 7. Heading to the left center pocket, but just stops on the edge. Now once again, chance to equalize this match at 5-all for Heyball Temujin.
10秒，延时。10秒。
Yeah, that's a good pot. That is a top draw pot with the cue ball right off the center pocket jaw. Absolutely no room for error. You have to be hitting center cue ball a touch aside and that's off. He's played on the 5 to the top left, and I don't think he's on it. It's very close. Yeah, there we are, right behind the cue ball. It looks like he might just have the potting angle. But at the same time, 3 ball doesn't go. I think would have liked to be able to just push that 3 into the middle of the table. Yeah, the 3 should go over the center pocket now. He's done well. He's done really well. He's on the 6. Come around the 1 for the same pocket. Yeah, I'm quite surprised. It was a steep angle, but had to play that with so much right-hand side. I'd have played with a touch of bottom right to just stretch the angle and pull the cue ball around the 1. So once again, jump cue out for Heyball Temujin. 10 seconds called. He doesn't have an extension. Oh, what a shot that is. That's another top draw jump shot from Temujin. The amount of recovery he's needing to do, but he has the shots to back it up. Definitely has the shots to get himself out of trouble, does Heyball Temujin. He's pushed the 1 onto the 9. That's another error, but can he get himself out of this one? No jump cue required here, though. He'd be looking at the 1 rail kick. Try and kick the 1 into the top left corner pocket. So he's made contact with his ball. He's potted his opponent's ball, legal shot. So now 5 stripes left on the table for Kong Dejing, currently 5-4 up. And he's wanted that to run a bit further. He knew as soon as he hit that. You could just tell by the reaction. He's not too happy with that. Definitely does help when you can pot like that, but once again, positional error, and at the moment both these players struggling a little bit with the cue ball. Shenyi is 8-3 up against Chu Bingjie. It is a race to 13, and that is a loser's bracket match, so loser of that match is out of the tournament. 2 break and runs, 2 rack and runs for Shenyi, 1 break and run, 1 rack and run for Chu Bingjie. Yeah, good shot from Temujin. All he had to do was make the pot. Cue ball naturally comes down the table, and that black ball 4-5 all. He has equalized the match, and a couple of mistakes from Kong Dejing. We're not used to seeing that from him. Scoreline 5 all in this race to 13 between these two players.
第11局，恩铁木真可球。
So at 5 all, Temujin breaking, and this break has been working. A 7 might be in. Yes, it's still working. It's still working for Temujin. And I have just seen on the World Pool Billiard Association WPA Facebook page, they have announced the Heyball WPA World Championship. Dates for that are out 2nd to the 5th of November 2025. 64 men, 64 women, $400,000 prize fund. That is a tournament you definitely don't want to miss.
10秒，延时。
So if you'd like to know how you can qualify for that, speak to your local Heyball council in your country to see exactly how you can qualify for that. And if you don't have one, then you can speak to your continental body or message WPA directly. So the player that defeated Chu Bingjie in the winner's bracket this morning, Zheng Kungpeng, score 13-12. Chu Bingjie was able to force a decider, but Zheng Kungpeng victor in the end, 13-12. I mean, a match like that can go either way. But at the moment, Chu Bingjie is struggling against Shen Shenyi. And in this winner's bracket match of Zheng Kongpeng and Ali Pordell, the score is 5-4 to Kongpeng. So Ali Pordell, who is in great form currently, he's really fighting in that match. He did say that he wants to go really deep in this tournament, feeling good about his game, had a good win earlier this morning. And the players that won this morning are guaranteed a top 24 finish in this tournament. Another win tonight guarantees top 16 finish. Andrew Paget from the UK is currently 8-3 up against Mohammad Reza Hassan from Malaysia. That is a loser's bracket match. I know Reza played Sun Yuan earlier today. Sun Yan is up against Gareth Potts, score 6-3 in favor of Gareth Potts at the moment. And Richard Halliday has equalized with Paul Clack from Australia. The score 6-all in that match. Now Temujin did break in this 11th frame, potted a ball, 7-ball into the right center pocket. And currently been making a good finish. He's cueing the ball very well to pot it at that pace, especially bridging over the cushion like that high bridge. Black ball doesn't go in the center though, it has to go into the top right corner pocket. It's not there. However, center pocket, no. It stays out, and there's a good opportunity for Temujin to take the lead in this 11th frame. Now Kong Dejing to the table. And he's been in the situation before and he's made a few mistakes. So I think he'll take this finish on and be a little bit more careful, a little bit more clinical of what he's doing. It's a great first shot, releasing the 10. Had a few options, could have used the 13 as well, but best to deal with problem balls when you first come to the table. purposely leaving those 3 stripes at the top of the table. As you can see, the black ball is on that side of the center pocket, so we'll have to have the cue ball in that half of the table to pot the black ball anyway. So finishing up down table, now closer to his work. He did not want that. He's just taken the 11 from being in a very, very nice position to closer to the ball cushion than he would have wanted. Yeah, now this black ball for Kong Dejing to take the lead once again and get his 6th point on the board. And it's there, another rack and run for Kong Dejing.
谢谢。
And there you see the stats for the match. 6-5, 1 break and run each, 2 rack and runs each. So far, it's only 1 frame in it. The breaks have been working more for Temujin, I have to say. He's definitely got a better potting on the break percentage.
第12局，孔德金开球。
This is stage 3 of the tournament, last 32. 16 of the top international players mixed with the top 16 Chinese players in an open draw, redraw before each round. And once again, that's another try break. I really thought the 14 was going to be into the center. And these are the type of chances that Temujin needs to take. I mean, it's not often you're going to come up against a Chinese player that's not breaking in properly with so many dry breaks. Yeah, good recovery. He didn't come far enough with the cue ball on the previous shot, so had to make the recovery on that one, did Temujin. Now Gareth Potts, table 21, is currently 3-8 up against Sun Yuan. And Gareth Potts, 4 break-and finishes, 1 rack and run in his earlier match against Paul Clack. Out of 13 points, 10 break and finishes, 10 run-outs for Gareth Potts. 6 break and runs, 4 rack and runs, with 5 consecutive break and runs for Gareth Potts. So he is definitely a man on a mission in this tournament. I've seen him in the practice room. He's firing at the moment. He looks very hungry for a good result, and yeah, we will be following his pathway through this tournament. Shen Sheni is 9-4 up against Chu Bingjie in this race to 13, but out of all the players, that's the one player that you never count out, is Chu Bingjie. 8-0 down against Shi Tianxi last week. Came back and won that match 13-11. How do you play against somebody like that, who can come back from 8-0 down in a race to 13? And this black ball will equalize the match once again at 6 frames each. And another rack and run for Temujin. So this is becoming a pattern now. Temujin able to stay on the table much longer than Kong
比赛专用提醒您，精彩比赛马上开始。一线赛事指定台迷：丁俊晖、奥沙利文、郑宇博、楚秉杰等不例外一线球星代言。利百文，中国台迷领导品牌。
第13局，恩铁木真开球。
And straight away potting a ball on the break. So Temujin definitely having better success with the breaks thus far in this match. This is now the 13th frame. Score is currently 3-all. 2 rack and runs, 1 break and run for Kong Dejing, and 3 rack and runs, 1 break and run for Temujin.
10秒，延时。
So Phone Min Kyo is currently on table 19 playing Shen Yu. Score is currently 6-4 to Chen, so Phone Mint is down at the moment. But it is less than halfway in that match, 6-4 race to 13. Definitely still has time to make a comeback. As you've seen in this match, how quick a player can come back. Yeah, winner of this match guaranteed last 16 place in this tournament. So this is huge. This is huge, especially for an international player. And so far, Temujin, he is looking very at home on this TV table. Playing better than he did earlier. Very focused. And so far taking every single chance he gets the best way he can. And he knows, I can guarantee you, he knows who Kong Zhijiang is. Might have even played him in the past. You can't afford a mistake. The kind of player that can make 5 or 6 break-in runs in a row is Kong Zhijiang. Just going to get past the one ball on the right-hand side of the table. Nicely done. And this black ball for another break and run for Temujin. And to take the lead, 7-6 up, Heyball Temujin into the lead. 2 break and runs, 3 rack and runs. Definitely the aggressor in this match, definitely has the upper hand and in the driving seat. And if you look at the pattern in this match, it's been the breaks. Kong Zhijiang, I believe, has not potted a ball on the break. Out of 5 or 6 breaks, I think maybe he's potted once. But look at the percentage of that, that's under 20%. However, his opponent Temujin has potted, I would say, 80% of his breaks, and that's the reason the scoreline is what it is.
第14局，恩铁木真开球。
Of course, a lot of the Chinese players have an upper hand on the international players when it comes to potting and positional play as well, but especially on the potting front. But the breaking front mainly. But at the moment, look at the way Temujin is breaking. So stripe potted on the break. Solids in play now for Temujin. Now it's all about the 7. Black ball at the moment, it does go into the bottom right corner pocket. And he's going into the 7 from the 2. Yeah, there it is. Notice he didn't have to go into the 7 at 100 miles an hour, just a slight nudge. And look at how far it's gone. Nicely over the center pocket. Yeah, now to play the black ball into the bottom right corner pocket. The last ball is the 4. Slight angle on the 4, but very slight, of course, to the center. Yeah, he's definitely very focused and in solid form is Temujin at the moment. Yeah, almost perfect on this, and this will be another break and run for Temujin. It's there, another break and run, 8-6 up,
比分8比6，开球
and that is his second consecutive break and run for Heyball Temujin. This is an unbelievable form from this young man, and that's why you can see why he is one of Mongolia's top cueists. Currently leading 8-6 against Kong Dejing. 3 break and runs, 3 rack and runs, 2 consecutive break and runs. 2 more frames before the next player break at 16 frames. And he leads 8 frames to 6. Now for Kong Dejing, the best he can get out of this is if he goes into the break 8-all. I think out of all the breaks, that's just his second dry break in this match for Temujin. Now Kong Dejing to the table. And he would have been sat in his chair for 3 frames, rack and run, and then 2 break and run clearances from Temujin. I think it would be a good time for him to feel like it's time to get back into this match now. Yeah, but the only problem is, with the winner's break format and him currently being down, even if he does win a frame and his breaks are currently not working for him, so what does he do? And he hasn't changed his break, he's still doing the same break. I have no doubt that he can win the frame when he's at the table. But being at the table in a winner's break format can be very tough. Especially if you are dry breaking, and he'll know that his percentage of potting a ball on the break is very low at the moment. Played on the 15 to the top left corner pocket. I think he's still good, yeah. There we are, right behind the cue ball. He's still good. A lot of space past the 1. So if you are looking for the player brackets or the flow charts and even the live scores from the current event, you can head over to the WHT World Heyball Tour Facebook page, and we have shared the links on that page I believe it is on the 3rd or 4th post down. Just going to have a look. I think I've shared it onto my personal Facebook page as well. Yeah, it is. It was shared 19 hours ago onto the WHT Facebook page and to my personal Facebook page. You'll see it under Joy Heyball Masters, Zhijiang Station, Stage 3.
第15局，孔德金胜，比分7比8。
Kong Dejing rack and run 8-7.
你说青春是什么颜色？赤橙黄绿青蓝紫，青春就不该被简单的定义。
Yeah, that was a frame that Kong Dejing needed. So currently 8-7, but one more frame to the player break, and it's all about this break right now. I feel that it can be 8-8 or it can be 9-7. I think if he breaks dry, there's a very, very good chance Temujin goes on to win this match. He has to change the pattern. It's the only way. But while I have
第16局，孔德金开球。
the current results out, let's have a look. Ali Pordal is 8-4 down against Zheng Peng. Chu Bingji down 10-6 against Shen Shenyi. But I can tell you that if, as I said earlier, if there's one player that can come back, it is him. And is that another try break? It is. And look at the 13 heading towards the center pocket. How does that not go in? If there's ever a day where Temujin is getting a good run of the balls, it's today. And he needs to make the most of this. Kong Dejing is really struggling with his breaks, and no matter how good he is, he cannot do anything from sitting in his seat. Fonman Kyo is currently 7-6 down to Chen Shangyu. Gareth Potts 8-5 up on Sun Yuan. Paul Clack is 8-7 up against Richard Halliday from South Africa.
10秒。
And Andrew Paget is 10-4 up against Mohammad Reza Hassan. Yeah, so the Chu Bingji game, if Chu Bingji loses that, he's out of the tournament. And that'll be a really early exit for him. Very early exit for Chu Bingji. Score 10-6 to Shen Shenyi. And let's have a look. Just 2 break and runs, 2 rack and runs for Shen. 2 break and runs, 3 rack and runs for Chu Bingji.
5、4、3、2。
Tang Shunshao has taken the lead against Zhao Jianbo 9-8. Zhao Jianbo is the winner of the Division 1 tour just a couple of days ago. Paul Clack is currently in the lead, 8-7 up on Richard Halliday. Okay, so Temujin was not able to make another rack and run off that. So Kong Dejing comes back to the table off his own break. And this is the difference between 8-8 and 9-7 at the 16-frame player break.
10秒，延时。
Oh, has he found a path for the 3 past the 9? I think he has. I think he definitely has. This is not only about the 3 past the 9, it's the cue ball into the 7. Look at that. That is the best shot of the match thus far. Look at this once again. 3 passes the 9. So firstly you have to get that right. Perfectly into the 7. Gets the cue ball free. Gets the 1 ball free. And from a situation where it looked like he has 3 balls that doesn't pot, it's now an open table for Kong Zhijiang. And I can tell you right now, down on the floor where all the tables are, the players' arena, there's 2 tables that'll have the biggest crowd around them. That's the Chu Bingxie Shen Shenyi match. There'll be a huge amount of people around that one. And I would think the Gareth Potts and Sun Yan match. Because Gareth Potts at the moment in this tournament, absolutely blinding form. He's 8-5 up, 4 break and runs, 1 rack and run. Earlier, he won 13-6 with 6 break and runs, 4 rack and runs, 10 clearances out of 13 points. And this black ball for Kong Zhijiang to equalize at 8-all as we go into the 16-frame player break.
第16局，孔德金胜，比分8-8。官方暂停10分钟，10分钟未到，判负1局。
乔氏金腿比赛专用，提醒您，精彩比赛马上开始。
Wasted your love and won't waste anymore.
孙啥功名不要？只求回到这花果山中了，过过逍遥日子。
天要求干，化一切为可能。欧尚地毯，突破核心科技，从智能车间到高品质球房，重新定义标准，为每一个台球梦想铺好第一步。铺好毯，打好球，不掉毛，零干扰。
职业选手的第一选择，欧尚地毯，掉毛地毯终结者。
超级蓝钻皮头职业版，采用进口头层水牛皮，韧性好，弹性持久，颗颗精选，粒粒碾压，严格质检。世界职业球员必用的皮头，超级蓝钻，祝您夺冠！
罂粟胶边具有国内胶边很难做到的特点，罂粟胶边的硬度达到了45度，使反射角高度接近入射角。罂粟整条胶边误差小于20丝，因而各部位酷性一致。欢迎各品牌厂家使用罂粟胶边来提升台球桌的专业性能。好胶边罂粟皂，好胶边罂粟皂。
超级蓝钻皮头，黄金版、白金版，采用进口头层水牛皮，颗颗精选，严格质检，韧性好，弹性持久，世界职业球员必用的皮头，超级蓝钻，一专业，缔造不凡。
方寸间雕刻，毫厘间镶嵌，成木质之美，雕琢洞天，遇腾龙之势，巧思匠心，以点线面，以小现大，无蜘蛛匠心之作。
今天给大家推荐一款非常好的台泥 H153，是我自己用了1年多的台泥，汗毛量80%，手感特别细腻，走位很平稳。根据我自己用了1年多的这个台泥，这个 H153特别适合我们球房用，一些中小型比赛也特别适合它用。如果你的球房想用一款非常好的台泥，我推荐 H153。
，H153走球更到位。
一线赛事指定台迷丁俊晖、奥沙利文、郑宇博、楚秉杰等国内外一线球星代言。利百文，中国台迷领导品牌。
翘课我选布洛克。
中式八球，俗称黑八，是一项原创于中国的运动。在乔氏的推动下，已走进全球69个国家。乔氏中式八球，风靡全球的中国运动。
你说青春是什么颜色？赤橙黄绿青蓝紫。青春就不该被简单的定义，打破常规，不被定义。小麦皮头独角兽系列快乐上市。
河北省天一集团创立于2013年，注册资金500万，员工230余名，有着10余年的生产经验，其研发设计、生产销售。
And we are back after that player break. Score 8-all at the moment. At the previous break, 5-3 to Kong Zhijiang. And then we had Enekbol Temujin putting together a two-pack, 2 consecutive break and runs for him, followed by 2 rack and runs as well, and that brought him to 8-6 up against Kong Zhijiang. Kong was able to make it 8-all just before the break. So yeah, this race to 13 winners break, and look at what we have here. Kong Zhijiang pots on the break. But this is not looking too good. At first glance, I mean, it looks like you got the ping 4, the 5, the 6, the 3. The 1 goes, but look at the problems you have as well. You got the 2, the 7. Can you use the 1 to disturb everything? Whatever the choice, it's a tough table to come to.
10秒。5、4。
Okay, so that's step 1, land low on the 3 ball. So here we are aiming to go past the 1 into the 7, leave the 1 because the 1 can free the 2. Seven is free. 7 goes. 7 goes. And that's why he's done that so early. He's done that so early because he has guaranteed himself to almost certainly be on those 2 solids at the top of the table if he didn't get the position. Now, look at where the cue ball is, a roll back, and he's not on the 1. Oh, this is amazing. The clearances that this man can put together. I mean, you saw the table when he came to the table. 7 didn't go, 2 didn't go. Not only did they not go, they were really tied up to the stripes.
10秒。5、10秒。5、4。
He's made a mistake. He's made a mistake. Yeah, you wanted to catch this a lot more fuller, but he had a bad contact on the 5, and I think that transferred a bad contact onto the 4 as well. He needs to be tight. That's a good shot. He knows that his opponent in Heyball Temujin can jump the ball really well, so that had to be a very, very tight snooker from Kong Zhijiang.
10秒。延时。10秒。
Yeah, and that's a great attempt. He's almost potted the 13. He's almost potted the 13, and he has got a half ball snooker on the 5. Yeah, a lot of inside English to just swerve the cue ball slightly around the black ball. There we go. Have a look at that. And not only did that help get around the black ball, it also helped the cue ball go off 2 cushions, get himself into a potable position to get this 9th point on the board. And he's had to fight. He's had to fight for this point. It's there. Cue ball safe as well. 9 point on the board for Kong Zhijiang in this race to 13.
第18局，孔德金开球。
So currently 9-8 up, Kong Dejing to break. Winner's break format can be dangerous. Not only can your opponent take the lead and run away with it, he's made a ball again. Yeah, we've seen it also gives you a chance if you're down. We saw Temujin was down in this match at 1.52, then 5-3 at the break, and he was able to make it 8-6 in his favor, and that's just through the winner's break format. Rack and run off his opponent's dry break. 2 consecutive breaks and runs in a row. And just like that, he's 8-6 up. Solids in play for Kong Dejing, currently 9-8 up in this race to 13. Let's have a look at some of the other scores on at the moment. Zheng Kongpeng is 11-4 up on Ali Pordal, that's on TV table 2. Shen Shenyi is 12-7 up on Chu Bingjie. So on the hill is Shen Shenyi, and that is a loser's bracket match. So if Chu Bingjie loses that match, he's out. Top 32 finish. Sounds very strange to say, doesn't it? We have Andrew Paget has defeated Mohammad Reza Hassan 13-4. Losers bracket match as well. So Mohammad Reza Hassan has been eliminated from this tournament. Zhao Jianpo, winner of the Division 1 tour, 10-9 up against Tang Shunshao. And Sun Yan is staging a comeback on Gareth Potts. Gareth Potts 8-7 up, that's on table 21. We do have those other tables being streamed on WPAlive.tv. Michael Hill is currently 9-6 down against Gan Orkon from Mongolia, and Richard Halliday 8-all with Paul Clack from Australia. Yeah, hard to imagine that one of the favorites, Chu Bingjie, might be out of this tournament in this round. But also look at the draw that he's had. I mean, he's a very tough player, of course, one of the best in the world, but he goes up against an in-form Zheng Kongpeng, 13-12. Decided could have gone either way. And then he comes up against an in-form Shen Shenyi, who's been taking every single chance he can. So what do you do? I mean, we've seen players like Mick Hill have a draw like that. Mick Hill's in the Masters Grand Finals. He's had Chu Bingjie followed by Zheng Kongpeng. That's just the way the draw can go in the last 32. Top 16 international players in an open draw with the top 16 Chinese players. And this black ball for another very well executed clearance from Kong Dejing. Second break and run on the board as he goes 10-8 up.
超级蓝钻皮头职业版。 采用进口头层水牛皮，韧性好，弹性持久，颗颗精选，粒粒碾压，严格质检。世界职业球员必用的皮头，超级蓝钻，祝您夺冠！
第19局，孔德金开球。
So in the last 2 frames after the break, Kong Dejing has been breaking in. So he needs to replicate whatever he's been doing in these last 2 frames. Because he knows with the current form of Enekbal Temujin from Mongolia, he's in trouble. Black ball into the corner pocket now. Black ball in.
继续还是重开？
Advantage to the player on the table. Counts as a ball potted, so he can choose to play the frame from where it is.
继续击打。
He can also choose to break again if he wants to. So he has chosen to stick with the layout as it is. Black ball replaced on the foot spot. And solid's not looking too bad. It's just the one, it's about a ball's width off the cushion. I don't really think there's a need to go into the one. Leave it for last. Get straight on it. Just a slight pullback and he's on the black ball. So we are going to keep an eye on those live scores, especially from that Chu Bingjie match. Yep, that match has ended 13-7 in favor of Shen Shenyi. He has defeated Chu Bingjie. Chu Bingjie is out of the tournament. Last 32 exit for him. Yeah, he didn't have an easy one this time. And of course, with the level of all these players increasing day by day, not to say that he doesn't put in the work. He's in the practice room every single day, every single night. But these players, especially hungry young players like Shen Shenyi, they're not just going to roll over and give you the win. They are going to fight you, and that's what he has done. And that's a really good win for Shen Shenyi. And after that, I really do think that we will see Shen Shenyi in the top 8, top 4. Needs a bounce, doesn't get it. So that means the black ball is not potting into the bottom right corner pocket anymore. Sun Yan has equalized with Garrett Potts. Score currently 8-all at the 16-frame player break. Oh, he's managed to hold for the black ball. That is a great shot. And that for 11-8 for Kong Dejing, and that's another break and run for him. Currently 2 consecutive break and runs. There we go, 3 break and runs, 3 rack and runs, 2 consecutive for Kong Dejing. 3 break and runs, 3 rack and runs, 2 consecutive for Temujin. So at the moment, stats looking quite similar. It's just 3 frames in it, but 3 very important frames towards the ending of this match.
第20局，孔德金开球。
Kong Dejing to break 11-8 up. And so far, from 8-6 down, that's 5 unanswered frames from Kong Dejing. Yeah, if you start to look at it like that, this can be very problematic for Temujin now. Yeah, almost instantly he's made up his mind, he's going solids. And I don't see an issue on the table. This is 12-8. And this is something that separates a lot of the top Chinese players as well. They might look like they aren't playing their best or things aren't going their way in a match. They can be a few points down, but they are just able to find another gear no matter what the scoreline is. And once they find that gear, they are gone. I've seen it so many times now. We saw it this morning. Zheng Jiuhuai against Hong Yuanyu from Malaysia. Young man from Malaysia leading 5-3, looking to be in control. At the next break, he's 10-6 down. I think final score 13-8 to 13-7. Just like Chu Bingji being down 8-0 against Shi Tianqi, current champion of champions champion in the ladies division. Once they find that gear, and it's very tough to play against them when they do. And most of us international players, 8-0 down, race to 13, you feeling like putting your cue away, going home. And I think that's another aspect of the game that's so important to build. To know exactly what you are capable of. If you know that you can come to the table and put together 6 break and runs, then 8-0 down doesn't look like much. If you can do it while being ahead, why can't you do it while being down? Yeah, he got quite a kick on that. That's why the cue ball is not far enough. So does he roll I don't think you can even roll into the black ball from here. The way I see it, there's two shots, you both going down to the bottom rail, either one with side coming inside of the black ball, one coming outside of the black ball. That's inside, around. Look at how far the cue ball's gone. Look at how far the cue ball's gone. Look, he's a massive favorite, of course. Checking the angle, there's not much angle on it. Pick your spot. Deliver the cue. No, it's not there. It's not there. And that was for 3 consecutive break and runs for Kong Zhijiang and his 12th point. Just caught that slightly thick, hit the outside jaw, and now Temujin to the table. And once again, he has the numerical advantage, 6 playing 1. So I see one problem on the table for Temujin, and that's the 10. Now, the problem for Kong is where the 13 is. Because that means that Temujin can leave the cue ball anywhere in the top half of the table. And he snookered, so get the 13 out. Yeah, it's a foul. And push the black ball towards the pocket. That, of course, you are going for the black ball, but get the 13, get the black ball out away from the 13. Let's say it like that. So now there's no place to hide, but I don't think he needs it. Has a great opportunity to get his 9th point on the board. Yeah, and after 5 unanswered frames, this is a frame that Temujin needs. Gareth Potts and Sun Yuan are currently 8 all. That is a winner's bracket match, and that is currently on table 21. It's there. And the cue ball's around. He's good. He's good. This should be his 9th point. Our cue ball stays on the table. Score 11-9 as Temujin gets his 9th point on the scoreboard. After 5 unanswered frames, and Temujin will be breaking in the next frame.
21局，N 铁木真开球。
So currently 11-9 down, and that's a good break. Look, at the moment in this match, any break where a ball falls is a good break, because that's been the storyline for Kong Dejing. He's been really struggling with his breaks in this match. Now, in the previous frames earlier in the match, he was able to use this winner's break format to get himself back in the match. Can he do the same now? He's currently on stripes, just 4 stripes remain. Does the 9 go past the 4 into the bottom left corner pocket?
10秒，延时。
Yeah, there we do see the 9 does go. You might have to use right hand side of the pocket. Yeah, went in quite easily. He needs to make sure of every pot, every position. This is for a guaranteed spot in the last 16. This is currently the winner's bracket. Players who lost this morning and lost again this evening
10秒，
will be eliminated. That's 8 players eliminated. We'll have another 8 players eliminated tomorrow. Now for the black ball. Is the black ball blocked to 3 of the 4 pockets at the bottom of the table? You have the 3, 4, and 7, and it looks like they are obstructing the black ball to those pockets. Doesn't help that he has to bridge for this 11. I think he's good. I think the black ball does go past the 7. Yes, he's played on it. It does. It does. It just does. This for his 10th point on the board. It's there. It's there. Break and run for Temujin. It's currently 4 break and runs for him. He trails by just 1 frame now. Yeah, now this is how the winner's break format can favor the person who is behind. If they can manage to get to the table, break well. This is exactly what can happen. I don't see a ball in though. No. Let's have a look at the replay of that. 4 and 15 heading towards the center, but nothing in. And that try break will bring Kong Dejing to the table. He's currently 11-10 up. And so far it's tough to separate these two players. Look, Kong Dejing has made a few mistakes. Temujin has made a few mistakes, but his recovery game, I mean, he's had to jump 2 shots where he snookered himself on, but he's made the pots. So although you can make an error, if you can make the recovery, I mean, you all square then, aren't you? Back to square one. And then, of course, Kong Dejing has not been breaking well. I mean, his percentage off the break has been terrible. Yeah, this is tricky. He's asked the ref to clean the cue ball, and it's very close to the 2-1. But of course, these referees at these Joy tournaments are very professional, and we have a referee at every single table. These tournaments are being played on the Joy Q8 Golden Leg steel block table with Lieberwin 8848 cloth. The best conditions currently to play the game of Heyball in the world. And that's why this is the official equipment for all the Joy events, of course. And the Champion of Champions, the World Championship, and all the continental Joy and WPA events around the world. This is delicate. This is all about pace. This is all about pace. I have to say, I think it's good. It could have been much worse. He doesn't seem too happy with it. I see there's a small angle on the 12. He could punch it in. I'd like to see the angle once again. Especially on this cloth, you are able to get a lot of reaction out of the cue ball. Yeah, it's a slight angle. I think he could punch this past the black ball. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he needs to get past the 3 and just past the 3. I have to say, his pace control is absolutely excellent. Kong Dejing, rack and run, gets his 12th point on the board. He currently leads 12 frames to 10 over Enekbol Temujin from Mongolia. And that was a rack and run of Temujin's dry break. So let's have a look at the scores from some of the other matches. Zheng Kengpeng has won 13-4 over Ali Pordel. Zhao Ruliang has won 13-5 over Zhu Tianwei. Zhang Taiyi, World Games gold medalist, victory over Hao Qian. Andrew Paget from the UK, 13-4 over Reza Hassan, and that was a loser's bracket match. Tang Shunshao currently leading Zhao Jianbo 12 frames to 10. Zhao Jianbo, your winner of the Division 1 tour a few days ago. Gareth Potts is currently 10-9 up against Sun Yuan. That's on table 21 winners bracket match. And Mick Hill is 10-9 down against Gan Orkon from Mongolia. Richard Halliday from South Africa, 11-9 up against Paul Clack from Australia. And that is a loser's bracket match. 9-ball into the center pocket. Does he have a shot on a first ball? Yeah, he's done well to pot on that break. He's put so much power into that. And I do see a pot on his first ball if he wants to go solids. Now, he's come to the bottom of the table because he's looking at how does he open the 7 from the 6. Land low on the 6, you into the 7. The only problem with that is you don't have much of a recovery ball. If you push the 6 and the cue ball gets stuck behind the stripes.
10秒，延时。
Yeah, so that's the only problem I have with taking the 6 and going into the 7 is it's very easy to get stuck behind one of the 3 stripes down there. Oh, he needs a bounce or he needs a cue ball to stop. One of the two. He's left it very fine on the 6. So that's the reason he's left the 5 and the 3 at least at the top of the table, because if he does find a way out of the stripes and the cue ball is stuck at the bottom, he has a long recovery at the top of the table. I can tell you that's unconscious thinking from these players. They are not consciously thinking of that. They know the routes and they know the game so well. And it doesn't look like he's going to need a recovery. This couldn't have went better, but look at the side on the cue ball as well. Purposely played that with outside spin, but of right-hand side. So if it made contact with another ball or the cushion, the cue ball was naturally being pushed up the table. And these are such subtle things that that you might not notice, but these are the separators between why these players
10秒，
can make the finishes that other players can't. I mean, how often does it happen where you go for a kind of shot like that, cue ball gets stuck on the cushion or gets stuck behind another ball, and you feel like, I was so unlucky with that shot, but why leave it to luck? Create your own. And I feel that that comes with hours and hours of practice, so much time into this game. Well, good coaching, of course. No, I'm surprised at that. Have a look at this. Have a look at how wide this is. That's heading straight for the outside jaw. You know what, you can count in your hand the number of times you'll see that going in over the year. He's tried so hard to hold the cue ball off that angle, and yeah, that's why you don't usually see players trying to hold an angle or hold the cue ball, especially on nap cloth. And this black ball, Kong Dejing with another break and run, and that's victory for him. 13-10 over Enekbold Temujin. Great match from both players. I mean, Enekbold Temujin really had Kong Dejing on the ropes. Kong leading 5-3 at the first break. Temujin making it 8-all at the second, and Kong taking the match after that, winning it 13 frames to 10. So that was a winner's bracket match. So Kong Dejing through to the last 16 guaranteed, and Enekbold Temujin will be playing tomorrow to stay in the tournament. I'm your commentator for the Joy Heyball events, Raymond Tilak, and we'll be back tomorrow for more action from this tournament. The tournament ends on the 27th, so a lot more days of action to come your way. Thank you guys. Take care.